welcome back to Hardy Brothers Outdoors. Josh Hardy here. Today we're indoors and I wanted to talk about this Eco-Stix Fatwood. If you're not familiar with using Fatwood to start a fire, it's time to change how you start fires. Whether it's indoors or outdoors, I go to this stuff all the time. So Fatwood comes from the stumps of pine trees. And it's all that sap that runs down into the stumps that creates the highly flammable aspect of Fatwood. Turpentine comes from pine trees, and basically you've got a highly flammable sap that runs down into the roots, which are cut up into these little sticks. And I'm going to show you just how flammable they are. So we've got a lighter here, we've got one of these sticks here, and this is why these are so helpful in building a fire. If you can get these to light, they will stay lit and they will burn and keep all of your other wood burning. So as you can see, that thing burns like you've got lighter fluid on it. And you can smell the pine and the sap in it already. But this is what comes in the box, are these little sticks. So I use somewhere between 3 and 5. You could split them up smaller, but I use these both for my fires outside or inside. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to start a fire with these. And you never have to worry about building fires again. So stick around. We're going to build a quick fire using Fatwood. Okay, to have a fire, you have to have 3 things. You have to have heat, enough heat to create the combustion of the materials. You have to have fuel, and you have to have oxygen. So when I build a fire here at home, I shove a lot of paper underneath the grate. So just some newspaper, not the glossy kind, but just regular newspaper. And then I'm going to lay one layer on the grate as well. All that's going to do is help give me fire long enough in there that my Fatwood ignites. I'm going to lay 3 pieces front to back. That way I can lay my fuel, my wood, to where it touches all 3 of those. I'm going to lay a small thin row. And then to keep the oxygen flowing, you need to have air between your wood. So you don't want to stack your wood too thick to where you don't have little gaps of air coming through. So I like to put smaller stuff on the bottom if I have it, because that's going to burn up into coals a little bit faster. So I'm going to lay some stuff across there, and then I start to build back across again. So I'm alternating till I have a row, a row, a row. And so if you have your wood cut in a way that you can have those shorter pieces, that's great. But I'm going to have airflow through there. Then I'm going to take a couple more. So I put 3 across the bottom, a couple more, and I'm going to lay them up in there so that when they ignite, the fire off of those are going to continue to burn wood that's in there. So I usually do 3 or 4 rows. Something just to make sure it's balanced. I don't want it falling out the front. Okay, so the Fatwood's in there. I got 5 pieces in there. I've got paper. I've got my fuel. I have oxygen. Part of the idea here with the oxygen is you need a draft. So I have draft going up my chimney. I take a piece of newspaper and a toilet paper roll, and I'm going to light one end of it, put it up in the flue, up in the chimney, to create that upward draft, warm the flue. That's to help keep the smoke rising. If you've ever built a fire and had smoke coming back in the house, that's one of the reasons is your flue, the cold air is pushing it down. So I get that going. Careful not to burn yourself. Get it back up there, and then I'm just going to lay this in the back so that I have smoke rolling out of the top of it. And I start lighting the paper on the bottom. And in no time at all, we're going to have a roaring fire here. So let's see what happens here. Paper's going to burn very quickly. Fatwood's going to take over. It's going to catch fire, and it's going to keep burning until my wood catches fire, and then everything is going to burn together. I don't like to make fires without Fatwood. This is the easiest way to make fires. and it just works. So it looks like all my paper is about to die out here, but my Fatwood's catching right now. It's going to stay lit, and because of that resin inside of the pine, but the Fatwood, it's going to ignite, and it's going to keep on burning, and we're going to see this whole thing take off. So we'll see how it goes here. So provided you started with dry wood, that's the other key thing. You can't be making fires with wet wood. I mean, this thing is roaring already. There's nothing else I'm going to need to do to it other than continue to feed more fuel or more dry wood on there. So if you're not using fat wood to start fires, it's time to change your ways. Get some fat wood. Use it for your fire pit. Use it for your fireplace. It works everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.